power of makeup. Anybody else feel like I need a little bit more blush? Am I being a trope? Someday I'll be more composed, or maybe I'm just decomposing. If you're new here, you might not know that I have hair. But this is it. Let's see how long I can stand her before I pull her back. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing the video that I promised you in the last video. I'm going to be putting almost entirely makeup by Lawless on my face. I have the Lawless Woke Up Like This foundation, Lawless Seal the Deal Loose Setting Powder, Lawless The One palette. I have the new Lawless Afternoon Delight highlighter, and then I have the only somewhat controversial Morning After concealer that has been discontinued that we're going to use anyway because I like it. The other scientific process that we're going to test in this video, which is going to make my face look kind of bizarre for a minute, is I'm going to use the Umbra tint on one side of my face from Drunk Elephant and a different SPF on the other side because I have a really good hunch that this is like primer of life. Pardon my low energy, it's early in the morning and I had pho last night, can you tell by my puffy under eyes? So I'm gonna move you guys in, we're gonna put some makeup on my face, we're gonna do a full wear test, like a hot weather wear test of this. Really challenge the wear test because we have already wear tested this foundation. I will link that below. We've wear tested the foundation and I did a full review of the One eyeshadow palette. I will link that video below too because we're not gonna be doing a full eye look today. So let me move you guys in. We're gonna apply this to my face. Let's just do the dang thing. Already over my hair. We're gonna start by putting the Umbra tint on the right side of my face. I already have the Supergoop Daily Moisturizer on there. Wow, look at that. The power of makeup. So that's actually also a really valuable comparison. Like, look at that. That's my face, and then that's my face with the Umbra tint on. And we're gonna go in with an anonymous SPF on the other side of my face because I am not going to try to vilify it necessarily. That's not the point here. I'm not trying to say that one is bad. Doing this left-handed is weirder than I expected. Ta-da! And just like that, I'm a two-tone princess. How's your week going, guys? If you're watching this right now as it's coming out, I am in Florida with my family. Just taking a little necessary break. I am existentially exhausted right now. I use the shade Oasis in the Lawless. I honestly don't remember if it's a good match or not. I haven't worn it in a while. I used to wear it a lot in the winter though. It's such a good wintertime foundation because it just dries down. It stays a little bit satin. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a matte, but it has pretty darn instant full coverage. It really holds up and looks snatched and pristine through the whole day. God, that's so fast. Look at that. That's so crazy. It's so quick and it's so even and it's so pretty. It's so cooperative. I don't really think that I knew enough to talk with any kind of authority. Not that I know that much more now, but with any kind of authority on the ingredients of this before. So I'll research that and we'll talk about that in a bit. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of cat hairs being stuck to my nose. It's just this battle we can't win with the pet hair. And yesterday, I was kind of having one of those moments where I just wanted to throw it all in. And my husband was like, maybe it's time to hire someone to clean the house. And I was like, let's do that right now. Okay, I officially already hate having this much makeup on my face, just going on the record. It's been a while since I've put this much foundation on. Okay, I'm going in with the concealer now, and the overall consensus on what happened here with the Lawless concealer, just from what you guys told me, people were complaining that there was nothing in the tubes. That was kind of what I saw on Twitter too. They got theirs in the mail and they were like, the formula's too dry, there's nothing in there, which is not my experience. I don't have a nothing in there situation, and I actually went through 3 of them. I ordered 2 that ended up being the wrong shade and ended up with this one, Sheets, which is the lightest, and this one ended up working well enough. It's just a super dry formula. It like sets itself, and I honestly think that that was probably more what they were going for, but what people experienced was just that it's just unlike any concealer that they had used before, and I can't vouch for the fact that some people said that there was like no product in the tube, which to me that's a big problem. What in the hell is going on there? Do you see that? That like won't blend. What's happening? Ew! What the heck was that? It was like some kind of weird residue buildup something. The concealer just put on my face. Maybe it is better that they recalled it. Yeah, like I was saying, Annie does not shy away from the idea of this being makeup. You know, I think a lot of times when we're talking about clean beauty, they want to go no makeup makeup. Like, she wants to make clean beauty that is for a girl who likes a full beat. So that's why it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I still think it's worth testing, obviously, because, you know, we all have events and days and preferences that maybe they will call for something like that at some point. Concealer is like not blending properly. It might just be that it's like, I haven't used it in a really long time, but yeah, it seems to have kind of settled in the tube a little. Okay, throw some of this classic translucent loose setting powder on my face. So I like this powder a lot. Bought in store initially the illuminating one, luminizing one. Did not like that. My face just ended up looking really pink. It wasn't a good look. I call it the mother of pearl look. And this is not luminizing. I mean, it doesn't have any sparkles in it or anything, but it definitely preserves a good amount of like nice satiny finish on my skin. It doesn't mattify to death. And I do think that all of these products go together really nicely. I think that she really thought that out. So I'm going to put on my bronzer and my blush and stuff like that and just kind of fast forward through it. I feel like that's the most valuable way to do it a lot of times so you guys can still see it happening. My videos are long enough. I had like 3 kinds of sunscreen on, and yet here we are. So the next thing that I'm going to apply is something that this is literally a first impression of. I've only swatched it. I have not tried applying it to my face yet, and it is the new Afternoon Delight highlighter. It's a Lucid Skin Highlighter, and they are claiming that this is a universal highlight. It is quite gold, so I will be interested to see if it's too dark for my skin. This is actually my highlighter brush of choice lately. It used to be this one. They're both from Thrive. This is the actual highlighter brush. This is their new blush brush. I just like this one because it's really aggressive. It's like really fun to put highlighter on with. So here we go. It's definitely gold, but definitely not too dark. That's surprising. It does remind me a lot, like I said in my last video, of the Champagne Pop from Becca, which was actually like the first highlighter I ever bought. So thank you, Leanne, for influencing me way back in the day. I would definitely compare that to Becca Champagne Pop. I think that that is exactly the kind of glow that you get from it, is that like really diffused, ethereal skin finish. I don't know, man. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. Kind of intoxicating to put on, actually, because it's creamy and it makes my skin look really, really good. I'm like really excited to see how it looks with some finishing spray on it. So let's do that. Using my Onami here. Ooh, look at it. It just lit up. That is so pretty. Wow. Wow, first impression, I really like that. That's a super wearable highlighter, way more wearable than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be like eyeshadow, you know? Even on my very pale skin, it's not too gold, which I really, really like. The concealer's kind of freaking out underneath my eyes. I don't think I've ever actually used the concealer with powder. I've only used it on a bare face with no powder, and it does set itself. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think that with powder, it's just a little bit too much, and it's creasing in kind of a really gross way. I'm gonna wait for it to dry down and kind of see what we're working with, but I don't think that I like it. And again, it doesn't really matter because they pulled it off the shelves, but maybe for good reason. I'm gonna do my brows real quick. You will notice that the one thing that I don't have from the Lawless collection is the liquid lipstick. I don't do liquid lipsticks. It's just, you're not gonna get me to spend my money on one. This is the new Glossier Brow Flick. I know I'm off camera, but I need the mirror. I'm going to do some eyeshadow before I put on brow pomade, just because the powder plus brow pomade wouldn't go well. So if you're unfamiliar, this is what the Lawless The One palette looks like. I love it. It's like the ultimate desert vibes color palette because you have everything from your sunrise and your sunset over here all the way to like your gold deepy browns and stuff like that, and like some really lovely cool tone mauves. In fact, she does a really cool video on her channel, does like a cool eye and a warm eye with her palette, and it's very interesting. I'm gonna go in with that mauvey tone that I was just talking about, kind of just everywhere, all over the lid and the crease. And again, there's a whole review on this eyeshadow palette, but the TLDR on it is that I really, really like it. It's called the One palette because it's really supposed to be the only one that you need, and it's $70. It's like not an inexpensive palette, but I'm really, really glad that I bought it. I actually have gotten more use out of it than I've gotten out of like plenty of the other ones that I paid more for. I just really like the formula. Very blendable. The mattes are super, super matte without losing the creaminess, and the shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. Then I'm just gonna go in with a tiny bit of Shady right here, which is like this burgundy shade, and add the littlest bit of definition to the outer crease. Super quick. And then I'm just gonna take my Thrive Brilliant Eye Brightener and use that kind of on the inner corners here. This really, guys, I've been trying so many cream shadows lately, and this is still the one that does not crease ever. Like, you can combine it with powders, you can wear it on its own, you can apply it right on top of other things, and it just blends really, really well. You can even use it as like a cheek highlight or something like that if you really want to. So using that to just kind of make that look worn in. I just don't want like an eye look. Give me 2 seconds, gonna put on mascara and lip gloss, and I'll be right back with you. We will talk about the ingredients on this real quick. Anybody else feel like I need a little bit more blush? Am I being a trope right now? I'm serious. Wow, okay, so I didn't actually realize how peach the Cover FX Peach is, which is what I'm using, until I put like a mauvey purple on my eyes. Huh, well let's actually then break that up with a tiny bit, just so that we mix it up, of that from PYT, because this is very much like a cooler toned mauvey shade. Keep everything from being too like contrasty. And then just a little bit more of the highlighter because I really like it. So that's the full look. I think it's beautiful. It's a lot more makeup than I'm used to wearing on an everyday basis, but it's so easy to put on. Like, the foundation goes on really easily. Still not super sure about the concealer, but it doesn't really matter. And the makeup goes on so beautifully on top of it. And this highlighter, I think, is maybe their crowning achievement so far. This is so, so, so good. I mean, that's kind of, I shouldn't say that. I just don't want this to fall between the cracks here. This is a really, really beautiful highlighter. I like it a lot. So the foundation does come in, geez, 1, 2, 3. Comes in 20 shades. It gets pretty dang deep and pretty dang pale. So very good. It says a foundation formulated for all skin types with buildable coverage and a fresh, radiant finish. This is all on Sephora. That's where I get all of my Lawless stuff. I'm not sure if it's available elsewhere. Cruelty-free, non-comedogenic, silicone-free, perfume-free, non-toxic. So they emphasize abyssinic seed oil, moisturizes and supports skin suppleness and softness. Shea butter, which a lot of people are allergic to or sensitive to, or they find comedogenic, you know, keep that in mind. Vitis vinifera, which is grapeseed oil rich in beta-carotene, vitamins D, C, and E, and essential fatty acids that aid in minimizing the appearance of and size of scars. And vegetable glycerin, which addresses many oily skin conditions, draws moisture into the skin, supports the water balance of the skin by attracting water from the air, and supports water retention in the skin. So it's going to be a full coverage foundation that ideally is not going to dry your face out. It's balancing, or it's ideally supposed to be. It does not have dimethicone in it, so that is good news for a lot of people. It does have beeswax. That's good to know. Not vegan, because it does have beeswax in it, but it does not have dimethicone in it, which is really good for a lot of you guys. But it does have shea butter, which some of you guys find, you know, your skin is sensitive to. So let me zoom in real quick, and then we'll get to the wear test. Okay, so we can see that it's a really flawless finish of the foundation, but the concealer leaves a little to be desired. And she is trying to kind of disappear and dry up underneath my eyes. Like I said, when I fell in love with this, I was using it with a regular, just like a powder-free cream face of makeup. And I liked it a lot because it sets itself. However, with powder on top, it just kind of breaks up and does weird stuff. So we'll probably see that continue through the day. I'm not really like worried about it. The eyeshadow is so gorgeous. It kind of pulls out the natural like mauve tones that are already like in my lips and stuff like that. I think it's really beautiful. This highlighter is bomb.com, and you can already see that the foundation went on a little smoother on this side because I think it has to do with that Drunk Elephant SPF. Honestly, no complaints. If I'm going to pick a full coverage foundation, this is gonna be the one. So I'm going to wear this for the rest of my day. I have a lot of work to do today, and then I'm probably gonna go get a pedicure and walk my dog and things like that, and just generally be out in the world. I will see you guys in at least 8 hours, and we will see how all of the science in this test stood up. So I will see you guys then. Hey guys, it is the end of my day, and I've been wearing this foundation SPF experimentation science combo for 8 hours, and I have some results and some thoughts. I mean, I'm gonna zoom in and everything, but first of all, the foundation really does actually stand up to this weather. It's like 90 degrees today. I sat outside when I had my smoothie for lunch today. I love to just kind of soak in the vitamin D. And it didn't break up on me or anything. However, and I'm not going to belabor this point, but I see why they took the concealer off the shelves. It's just got like zero wear time, like negative wear time. You'll see when I get up close. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's kind of a moot point because you can't buy it anyway, but I get it now. That said, the difference between the two SPFs is subtle, but it's there. So remember, we did the Drunk Elephant on this side, we did the anonymous B test over here, and you can see it's a little splotchier, and you'll see also we got pores over here, and we have kind of blurring over here. Everything's just a little bit more smooth. Okay, so you can see not really so much like pores, and of course everything's really worn in under my eyes, but that's the concealer, ignore that. And then on this side, you can see everything's just, like, even the bronzer looks a little contrastier because stuff is just kind of broken up a little bit. Just a little bit more pores. So I will say that I think that this SPF makes a really big difference, and that's like why a lot of my wear tests have been so solid lately, even in the heat, is because the Drunk Elephant Umbra Tint really has like primer abilities. That said, I do also think that the Lawless is a pretty darn good hot weather foundation. It's not my finish of choice. If I'm going to be able to keep a foundation on my face with that really nice staying power that I get from the Drunk Elephant, I'm still gonna probably choose a different foundation for hot weather, just because in hot weather, I just like to feel a little bit more invincible. I reach up and touch my face a lot more in hot weather, and I just don't like to have to feel like I'm going to move around a full coverage foundation. It has nothing to do with the Lawless, it's just a full coverage foundation in general. I just don't typically like to wear them in hot weather. I prefer them in cool weather. That said, if you are a more full coverage girl, you like the satin finish, you don't like the full dry down, you know, powdery finish, this is a really, really good clean option for you, and I think that we covered that when I did this before. It did dry a little bit on me. I do feel like on my forehead, you can kind of see, you know, little micro lines and stuff that wouldn't necessarily be accentuated had I not used a full coverage foundation, but I don't think it's Lawless in particular, and I honestly think it's the least problematic of any full coverage foundation that I've used in that particular sense. I also think I'm kind of getting better at this whole putting on makeup thing. A couple years in, you know, doing makeup full-time as my job, I'm getting a little bit better at it, and I think that that kind of shows in the wear tests. They're just not as dramatical and cataclysmic as they were in the beginning when I kind of didn't know what I was doing. Everything else from Lawless is fantastic. I cannot wait for them to re-release the concealer if they decide to re-release the concealer, because I just believe in Miss Lawless. I believe in Annie. I think that we're going to get a home run this time, and I'm proud of her for recognizing that her customers were not happy with the release, not making excuses, and just pulling it from the shelves because, well, Not to throw shade, but there are a lot of people in the beauty community that do put their own lines out, and when they do get criticism, they try and fight back. They try and bite back. They try and blame it on the user instead of just pulling it off the shelves and giving everyone refunds. So I will list everything that I used below, everything Lawless, everything otherwise, and I hope that you guys found this valuable. I'm sorry if I'm kind of low energy. I'm eating raisins. I'm trying to like get my blood sugar up. I'm like, it's been a long couple weeks, y'all. I'm going home to Florida. I'm really excited. I'm gonna let mom cook for me. I'm gonna sleep in. It's gonna be great. Thank you guys for watching. Little ASMR raisin mukbang. Got my nails done. I'm just gonna like dump all my thoughts in you right now. I'm gonna go make some cauliflower crust pizza for my husband. I'm gonna eat it. And hope that you guys are enjoying your week. That's all. This is how I start and end videos now. I just say we're just going to start it or we're just going to end it. We're gonna end the video now. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. Thank you for watching. I have merch. It's really cute. I have a vlog channel that I haven't uploaded to in a while, but I have a video. I just need to get it edited. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. But what's my microphone?